So tonight we wrap up an entire season. The Lady Bulldogs have not lost on the Union Digital Network. They're 8-0 on these telecasts this year. So I know they were hoping, and I was downstairs right before they made their entrance onto the floor tonight. This team is absolutely wired. That doesn't always mean everything that you want to see, but they are absolutely wired, and I think if anything, they are in the right frame of mind to sweep this weekend series and before the home folks here on senior night to end up with their 20th victory on the season, and they would love to be able to sew up the number 3 seed in the Gulf South Conference tournament that starts next Thursday. If you're the number 3 seed or number 4, you also get a bye for the first round of the tournament. So Union has pretty well locked that up. Last night's win over Lee in straight sets, and Laura Rose Gray with 11 kills. That first set she had was outstanding. And then Haley Ramsey had 5 aces last night, and Ramsey and Sydney Sample, they had 12 digs each. Jordan Vick had a double-double with 28 assists and 10 digs. Jordan Vick, number 23, you're going to be hearing from her after the second set and all throughout the game tonight. She's our featured player tonight, and Jordan just gave us a wonderful interview yesterday, and I'm glad we could share that with you. Last night we had a terrific visit with Emily Grace Calhoun, and for those of you who are watching the Union basketball game, if you were watching the Union basketball game earlier, we brought you Emily Grace at halftime, her entire interview, and it was an absolutely just delight to interview both of these young ladies. So we are wrapping up very, very quickly this entire season, and Lady Bulldogs 19-12 overall and 10-5 in the Gulf South Conference. And you'll also be hearing from Coach Darren McClure when we have timeouts during the course of this match. Shorter, of course, as we say, they're one of the elites. They are 16-13 overall, but they're one of the elites in the Gulf South Conference. And when these two teams met down at Shorter swept the Lady Bulldogs 3 straight sets, and that has stuck in their crawl ever since. So I got a feeling we're going to see some very, very tight and quality volleyball tonight. But these Lady Bulldogs are really, I can tell you, their mindset is that we're going to do this tonight. So we're about set to go here at David Blackstock Court. There's Sydney Sample coming in. And earlier this afternoon, the Bulldogs dominated over Tuskegee, winning it 68-49. And to start out the service today, it is going to be Lacey Glover. She's a junior from Sneads, Florida. And I want to welcome all of you parents from both of these teams that may be watching right over the top to start with. And Jordan Vick is going back to serve, so Union takes the first score. But I want to welcome parents from both schools who are watching tonight who could not make the trip in here, because we're always delighted to have you aboard, because sometimes this is the only way you get to see your daughters play. And that one's not going to be saved. That was off the hands of Haley Ramsey, so we're tied at 1. I tell you, this Hawks team, they are in a huge frame of mind as well. They may be in visiting territory, but they're going to be giving everything. Carrington Terrell, she's a junior from Fayetteville, Georgia. Of course, Shorter their campus is in Rome, one of the prettiest cities in North Georgia. There's the power move. It's blocked, but they could not get it saved. Alyssa Tatch tried to go down to the floor and could not get to it fast enough, so it is a 2-1 lead for Shorter. These two teams have developed a real rivalry because they're very evenly matched in women's volleyball. And they're not going to be able to. Yeah, they did. They managed to get over and get the angle just right. The dink. And Union gets it. Emily Grace ties it up at 2. And here's Alyssa Tatch. They need her service tonight to be as pristine as it's been, and she gets that downward flight as the ball crosses the net. And the block. This front line for Shorter is outstanding. They're going to be every bit the match of Union. Last night, Union's front line just dominated Lee. And if you were watching, you could tell that they were very, very well prepared for what Lee brought to the table. And here to serve is Annie Smith, the sophomore from Ackworth, Georgia. And diving to the deck was Tatch, and she could not save it. And so it's an early 4-2 lead for the Hawks. And they're going to have to hurry to get this one over. All right, get the backward curl. The pound, and it is there. Shorter is hot in the early going, and that's one thing they want to do is to be able to take the local crowd out of this one, 5-2. It's been a big day of sports on this floor. The Shorter Hawks men's basketball team defeated, and that one's out. So it's a 5-3 game. The Shorter men's basketball team defeated Lane College in overtime, 93-89. In the first of our triple header that we have had today. And here goes Emily Grace with the serve, going right-handed on it. Here's your set. And for Tatch. And that's Laura Rose Gray. Laura Rose just creamed that one in to close it down to 5-4. And Emily Grace back to at 6'1", the junior from Jonesboro. She'll be back next year, and nobody could catch up with it. It's a 5-5 game, and so Emily Grace is she said yesterday that she just hopes her serves are doing what they are supposed to do during these two games this weekend. They certainly were last night. A save by Tatch. And there's the pound, and it's right between the box of defenders. Shorter retakes the lead, 6-5. This is one of these that could go 5 sets tonight. We started about a half hour late because the early basketball game had a 22-minute delay in it between Shorter and Lane College. But I got to tell you, the block, but it block goes out of bounds, and so Union reclaims it and ties it at 6. The Shorter men's basketball team owes a huge debt of gratitude to the women's volleyball team because they were up cheering as loud as anybody in the house during that basketball game today, and particularly down the stretch. And it's out. Just beyond the end line, so Shorter takes the 7-6 lead. So everybody grab your glass of apple cider, put a little heat on it, and sit down and enjoy this one because we may be going at it 5 sets tonight. Here's your set. Hey, fake that one. There's the dink. And they curl it back in with a 2-hand return. They have a great power move up front. Here's the high set. Right between the Union defenders. And this Shorter team is very, very well prepared, up 8-6. I know both of these teams are looking tonight as you're getting ready for Madison Sprosty to serve. She's from Savannah, Georgia, where I used to live. She's a junior. And too much on it for Alyssa Tatch. She pounded that one home, and it almost went out in the hall. Sprosty to serve again. Both of these teams want to get out to the first set lead because it's such an emotional. And Union's looking a little bit tight here in the early going, and Shorter is just finding the open range, and timeout is called. Darren McClure down 10-6 in this first set is wanting to take a time to look it over. We talked to him before tonight's game about the frame of mind of this Lady Bulldog team and how they are looking at it as it comes to dealing with a team that they lost to earlier in the season.
Well, other than understanding their personnel, we just try to forget that game, quite frankly, because our starting setter didn't even play in that game, and our best middle was hurt and didn't even play. She was probably 50% in that game. So sounds like an excuse, but it's just the reality of the situation. We do respect Shorter a lot. I think they're a really good team. They've done a great job this year. Their head coach has really turned that program around. I have a ton of respect for her. So we're just ready to play. We know we're good at home, and all that means is that we enjoy playing here, but we got to take care of business tonight on the court.
Well, Lady Bulldogs down 10-6 to begin this. Sprosty to serve again. And I'm sure Darren during that timeout was just trying to get his team settled down because they looked out of position on a couple of the returns. And just out of the range of Laura Rose Gray. She had such a huge first set last night, but just out of her range. So Union down by 5, 11-6. They don't want this finale to be, and that one's too far. Sprosty had some excellent serves, but that one just too much power on it, and checking back in is Haley Ramsey. An 11-7 Shorter lead. Haley does that pounding motion before she goes in for her serve. And she goes to the right hand and gets the perfect geometry on it to make it an 11-7 game. And this is where it's crucial for the Lady Bulldogs not to panic after getting down by 5 here in this first set. But they know this is where you've got the cream of the competition going. The pound was there. The fake of that hard kill. And Tatch has it go too far left. A 12-8 lead for Shorter. And let's see who goes back to serve. Okay, it is going to be Taryn Seichel. She is a junior from Boca Raton, Florida. And let's see, Taryn has a hard right-hand serve. And Sample has to dig low. Tatch. Boy, they have scouted her with that cannonball. And it doesn't matter. She faked it, dropped it home, and it's a 12-9 game. As Darren McClure said before this game, he said that, this is the kind of thing that if you get down 4 or 5, you just got to chip away at it 2 and 3 at a time. Don't have to worry about getting it all in one hunk. What a power move that was by Terrell. Carrington Terrell just creamed that one to give Shorter a 13-9 lead. Lacey Glover back to serve from Sneads, Florida. Went to Sneads High School. And she takes the running approach to her serve, and it goes into the net. So it's back to a 3-point margin at 13-10. And in case you, again, are new to this, as Jordan Vick gets ready to serve, in case you're new to this brand of volleyball, you play to 25 in each set. You got to win by 2. If it goes to a 5th set, you play to 15 with the same rules applying. You have to win by 2. And Union's up front blockers have really struggled with this Shorter power, their power game here in the first set, 14-10. That one goes almost to the ceiling, and they could not save it. A 14-11 game. Back to serve, Alyssa Tatch. The senior from Helotes, Texas. Terrific move. All they had to do is just dump it down and get it between those defenders, and that's exactly what Union did. So they've closed it back to within 2 after falling behind by 5 in this set. Alyssa's serve goes back to the far stretches. She's terrific at saving those. Here they go. Yes. No, they saved it. Terrific job by the backcourt. And Union, the blockers finally getting their cohesion together, and it's a 14-13 game. And Alyssa with 3 consecutive points on serve. There she goes. It's too far. Just sometimes she has so much of that power that a serve can get away from her, and so Union could not get the tie, 15-13. And as Darren McClure has told us, what you have to do in a case like that, just shake it off and try to score the next point. As opposed to the old rules of volleyball, you do not have to serve in order to score. Here's your set. Union, nice save. Watch this power move. Tatch trying to get between the box. Saves it in the backcourt again. Here you go. Yes. No, it's going to. They say it's beyond the end line. Reese Owens did her dead level best to get that one in bounds, but it was just beyond it, and so Shorter with a 16-13 lead. Annie Smith to serve once again. And the pound, that's going to go in reverse. They got to get this one in. Tatch had to come up front to get that one. Tell you, this Shorter team is terrific defensively. Almost between the defenders. Now, watch for the power move. Yep. Sample was just sent to the deck, and Sydney is so good on retrieving those things, but there was no way she could stop that one. 17-13, Shorter leads in the first set. In between the box. As we've mentioned all season long, there's usually a box, a rectangle of 4 defenders, and if you can get the geometry and get the ball to go between that box, you're likely to score. Emily Grace Calhoun with it. And it goes back again. That front line, look at that. Catherine Patrick just giving a friendly shove to her teammate there, Catherine from Chattanooga. An 18-14 game. Of course, Rome, Georgia is right in just to the south of Chattanooga. What a block, but it goes out of bounds. So Union recovering on that one, 18-15. Greta Blakemore from Lexington, Kentucky, the 5'10 freshman who's done such a great job left-handed. And the pound. Union can't save it. It's a 19-15 lead. Back to a 4-point margin for Shorter. Lady Bulldogs knew this was going to be tough, and this team is playing very, very loose. You see the smiles on their faces, and they are just They want to be able to get that number 3 seed, namely the Shorter Hawks. And just sending Union to the deck. Terrific job by Terrell. And timeout is called, 20-15. Union back down by 5. We talked earlier to Coach McClure about last night's game and the kind of performance that Union had in which they were so focused. And he told us why he thought that happened.
I sure hope so. And, yeah, we played really well last night. I was proud of the girls. It's probably one of our better serving outings of the year. And that we knew that that's what we had to do going into that game. And sometimes the game plan truly is simple. You just have to serve and pass better than the other team. And in volleyball, you hear a lot of coaches say that. But the reality is that's what it boils down to a lot, and I think that's what it boils down to tonight. we've got to serve and pass better than the other team does. And I think if we do that, we give ourselves a chance to offensively be proficient, and we'll see what happens, I guess.
And the Lady Bulldogs seem to be focused tonight. They're just playing a tougher opponent. Lee came in with a 7-18 record, and Union was able to dominate them in the first two sets. It was a tight one in the third set before Union won it 25-21 against Lee. But this Shorter team has so much depth across the board. They don't have that many seniors on the squad. They've got 4. So there's a lot of depth on this team. Here's Sprosty with a serve. And the power and the block was right there. What a retrieve by Annie Smith to make it a 21-15 lead. So Shorter is the first in the red zone tonight. Less than 5 away from victory in the first set. Here's your set. The block. And Union gets it, closing it back to 4. And what they really need at this point, and Ramsey's coming back in to serve, what they desperately need at this point is about a 4 or 5 point rally. Let's see what Haley does with it. And this one's got to go. And the block, but Union, Laura Rose saved it. What a recovery. Here's the power and the block. Again, that front line is so strong for Shorter. Tatch. And going downhill with it. Perfect move for Jordan Vick. And Union has closed it again to within 4, and we're going to keep it right here at 21-17. And it's obvious that Coach Sullivan for Shorter saw something that she wants to make an adjustment about here. 21-17 is your score. Lady Bulldogs 19-12 on the season, and they've had a very, very strong closeout period. On October 29th, they beat Auburn Montgomery at Montgomery, and then it was a tough one against the number 1 seed and the number 8 team in the country, namely West Florida, when they lost that one on the 30th of October. And then on November 2nd, a Tuesday night, they defeated in straight sets West Alabama, lost to West Georgia in one that they lost in straight sets in Carrollton last weekend, and then recovered, went on down to Valdosta State, won it in straight sets, and then last night against Lee. So Lady Bulldogs have wound up with 4 of their last 6, and they are desperately trying to close this out on a high note. As we mentioned earlier, the number 1 through 4 seeds in the conference tournament, and Union and Shorter are going to be numbers 3 and 4. It just depends on which one is 3 and which is 4. But they get a bye in the first round. And this one goes high again. What a power move, but it was beyond the end line. So it's a 3-point game. Union trying to make a rally. Haley Ramsey to serve once again. And a little softer serve, and she gets it between those defenders. They had to slide to the deck, 21-19, so Union has come from 5 down twice. Ramsey serve. It goes into the net. They do save it. And that was the 4th hit. So Union has closed to within 1, and now the Lady Bulldogs are in the red zone. This is a 4-point rally for the Lady Bulldogs. It goes to the far right-hand rear, the dink. And here you go, blocked nicely by the up front of Shorter. Tatch tried to get it over with a dink, but instead they responded in kind, and it's 22-20. Union falls just short of tying it up again. And Coach Sullivan has to be very, very happy with that retrieval for her Hawks. And back to serve. Here again is Taryn. She went to Boca Raton Community High School. And here's your set. Tatch. And it goes off of the hands of Shorter. And so it is a 22-21 game. Union with service, and Sample, who is an outstanding server, is going back to take her crack at it. And out of bounds, and you heard the crowd was up off their feet right before that thing even left her hands. She put a lot of spin on that serve, and it is tied at 22. Remember, you have to win by 2. 25 is game. Here's the set. The power, the block, and Union ties it, and now Union has gone ahead at 23-22, and they've got this place rocking. Sample again. 2 points away from victory. They're going to have to hurry. Here's your set. Tatch, the power. And it goes out of bounds. It is set point for the Lady Bulldogs after trailing for most of this first set. 1 point away from victory. Sample again to serve. Trying to close it out. Here's the high lob, and here goes the set. And it goes off the hands of the Lady Bulldogs, so it is a 24-23 game. Now, Shorter has to get 3 in order to win. It is still set point for the Lady Bulldogs. To serve it, Lacey Glover. Boy, she is really focused. Here's your set. And this has got to be it. Union's going to have to get a good one here. And the curl, the two-hander, goes over. And it is in, so it is 24 all, and so we are going to be in overtime. You got to have 26 to win now. Glover. Again, she's an outstanding server. She is so concentrated when she's back there. Here goes your set. Tatch with the power. Yes, it's in. Once again, it is set point for the Lady Bulldogs. This has been an outstanding first set. Jordan Vick going for the victory in set 1. Going left-handed. Here goes the power. Union retrieves it. Just watch the volley. The block, and it's out of bounds. Union was just too far going right, so we're going to go to at least 27. It's 25 all. Terrell back to serve. The junior. That's a rather soft serve. Tatch had the power move, and Union gets it underneath. Yes. Terrific move on the part of both Emily Grace Calhoun and Greta Blakemore. Here is Tatch serving for the victory. It is set point once again. Out of bounds, goes too far right. She was trying to get it in the corner. Woo, Ben, you better get your blood pressure checked on this one. 26 all, so we got to go to at least 28. Back to serve is Annie Smith. You're seeing some of the best that both of these teams have to offer. Annie very relaxed with it. And that one is going to be right down the middle. Emily Grace makes it set point once again at 27-26. And here you go. She takes the high jump. Here's the set. And they go for the power. Nice recovery. Here's your set. The dink. And they're going to have to chase it. Good save on the part of Shorter. The power is there. It's going to go too far back. Now they're going to have to get this one over. And they do. Union, a great save. Here's the power. You knew it was coming. And another save on the back by Emily Grace. But no, they say a violation, so it's going back to Shorter. We're going to at least 29. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This has been as good as we've seen all season long. Here's Victoria Ergel, a senior from Woodstock, Georgia. The set. Good recovery. And that's it. They could not get it back. Union up 28-27, set point again. This is the 5th set point for the Lady Bulldogs. Checking in to serve is going to be Lauren Burrell, the 5'5" sophomore from Huntsville, Alabama. Here's Lauren. Up high. There's your power. Just no way that Sample could get to that. We're going to go to at least 30. Well, if you've wanted to see nail-biting volleyball, this is it. Sprosty with the serve. She's had some good ones. And the curve. Here's your set. And it's in. Once again, 29-28, Union with its 6th set point. It's Ramsey to serve. Here goes the set. Here you go, underneath. Power move is saved in the backcourt. Tatch gets it in. Union wins the first set. Alyssa Tatch gets it just inside the end line, 30-28, and that was as big of a thriller as you will ever see in this entire event, because this, I got to tell you, this could have gone either way. Union was down 5 twice, and then this is again the grit of this club. Shorter's got the same kind of grit. But this didn't happen when they played at Rome because Shorter took all 3 sets, and Union now up 1, and that's a crucial one it's really for both of these teams, because this is one of those situations where you just absolutely don't want to have, and you don't have any margin for error. Well, we want to go back and we did talk earlier to Darren McClure. And one of the things we talked about is that, okay, next weekend it is win or go home. And that's the way tournament play is. You got to win it or it's over. So we talked to him about how he keeps his team from being too tight when it comes to being in a do-or-die situation.
I think, honestly, the personnel we have on this team will help with that, because they were part of that group in 2019 that took us there for the first time. And other than our libero in that class, we have every single kid back that was on that roster. So, I think our girls have been there before, and they expect to be in that position, and they've played that way this year. So I think to avoid being tight, we just got to get down there and see the teams play. And, we're vying for a top seed, tonight, and I hope that we have the opportunity to be the 3 seed next weekend. I think that helps us along the path to the championship game. I think is better for us in that regard. But you know how it is. At the end of the day, you got to play the games in front of you. So that's what the hope.
Well, there you have it from Coach McClure, and this was the kind of thing that you're going to see, what you just saw in that first set, that you're going to see every night in the tournament when they're down in Florida, in Pensacola. It is going to be that kind of action, and the Lady Bulldogs they had the grit, falling behind 5 points twice and then winning it 30-28. And I would love to be able to take the temperature of about half the house in here right now. Let's look down at some of the totals. Alyssa Tatch, she had 5 kills. Emily Grace Calhoun with 6 and 4 for Laura Rose Gray. And in digs, Tatch had 7, and Jordan Vick with 3, as well as Sydney Sample. Points, Emily Grace with 7.5 and Alyssa with 5.5. On the other side, for Shorter, 5 digs for Glover. She was their leader. And you had, as far as kills were concerned, Richardson. And that is Emma Richardson from Chandler, Arizona. She had 4 kills and 3 each for Glover, Patrick, and Veldhuis. Annie Veldhuis. And so it has been a very evenly matched game so far, and here we go going into the second set, and Union will serve, and it is Burrell back to serve. That is such an emotional lift, and the key thing that Darren McClure tells us, he says you got to keep them from getting their mindset. That one's too far. She just had too much energy on it, and just as happened in the first set, first point goes to Shorter. And Sprosty, who had some excellent runs in that first set, back to serve. This team, as we say, is resilient. They're down 1 serve, but they just try to forget about it and put it behind them. Power move. Union just has too much on it right now. Laura Rose just went way too far. Laura Rose with 4 points in the first set. Sprosty had 1. And that's the Laura Rose Gray that we saw so much of last night. Pounding it home, checking back in to serve is going to be Haley Ramsey. Boy, did she have some great service down the stretch of that first set. Shorter with a 2-1 lead. Here's your set. And that one out of bounds. A lot of power behind it, but it goes too far right. And Union back into a tie. Lady Bulldogs so desperately want to wind this up with a victory in front of their home fans who have been so supportive during this season. And it hits the net and goes over. There is no such thing in volleyball as a, quote, net serve. If it goes over, you got to play it, even if it does hit the net. So Haley got a break on that one, and Union comes from behind to take a 3-2 lead and going down to the deck again. The ball hit the floor, and so it's a 4-2 Union lead. Union with a lot of emotional momentum after coming from behind to take that first set 30-28. Here's Haley with the serve. And the set. Power move, the block. And again, that front line of Vick, Tatch, and Gray, they are in full communication with each other right now. 5-2 Union lead. Ramsey's had 4 consecutive points. And the block. It is 5-2. That was one of the highest scoring sets that there has been this year in the entire conference. They had one set at Valdosta State, and the block. Give it to Shorter. It's a 6-3 game. At Valdosta State, they had one set that went 31-29. That was the most points scored in a set this year, and that was last weekend. But Lady Bulldogs, they just did not panic down the stretch. And back to serve again. Here is Taryn. And again, she has just perfect concentration. And they're going to have to hurry. They can't get that one. That's going up into the scorer's table, and Union is up 7-3. Lady Bulldogs are now beginning to feel a rhythm that they often talk about doing. Here's Sydney Sample. She had outstanding serves down the stretch as well in that first set. Here goes your high set. And they pound it, and there is just no way that Haley Ramsey could get to that. 7-4. But you can see how loose this Shorter team is, even though they're down 4 and down 3. They're down by one set and down 3 in this second set. And this young lady can do an awful lot for that, and that's Glover. I just love to watch her form when she serves. Here's your high set. And right there, you could tell that was going to go down the box. Emily Grace Calhoun found the perfect angle on that, and it's Jordan Vick, who you're going to be hearing from at the end of this set. Jordan Vick is back to serve. She goes left-handed, and power. They only had one shot to get it over, and just tremendous power on that one for Emily Grace. 9-4. Jordan goes right into the net with it. A 9-5 game. And here's Terrell. So far, she's got 5 points in this contest out of the 33 that Shorter has scored. Yep. That thing was going almost as a line drive right into the hands of Terrell, and Union up 10-5. So it's a little different situation this time. Union was down 5 twice in the first set, and now it is the Lady Bulldogs up 5 and Tatch to serve. And here's your set. Both teams making nice recoveries and almost between the box. All right, this is going to be a power serve. You knew it, and it was a nice save. Good recovery on the part of Shorter. Tatch with the save. This is a great volley. Tatch saved it. They got to get it over, and they do. And the block. Right up front by Emily Grace Calhoun. They have got the home fans rocking here. It is 11-5 Union in the second set. Here goes the Cannon with another serve. Goes with an easier one. She has change of pace on her serves. That one, it was just inbounds. And so it is 11-6. That was so on the edge of being out of bounds, but back to serve now is Annie Smith. Annie just has the best expression on her face the entire game. Here goes your set. And that was one they could not get the angle high enough, and Union takes it right back, 12-6, and Emily Grace is going to be serving. I hope you saw our interview that we had with her last night, and then we had a longer interview during the men's halftime of their basketball game this afternoon. Here goes some power. Block. Good save. And it's out of bounds. Union up 7, 13-6. So this is really forcing this shorter team to have to play defense, and we've got timeout. We're going to keep it right here, and I'll give you some details of where everything stands right now. For Union, in kills, it's now 10 for Emily Grace Calhoun, 6 for Laura Rose Gray. And then you look at service aces. Haley Ramsey has had 4 of them. That is big in this game. Union's had 6 aces to only 2 for Shorter. And then in digs, Alyssa Tatch with 10. She's just all over it there. 5 for Sydney Sample, who usually is deep down for it. Assists, just like she was last night when she had 28. Jordan Vick has got 17 in the game tonight for Union. Over on the other side, assists, the leader is Taryn Cheichel with 9, and then 7 assists for Annie Smith. And when it comes to kills, you got Veltes and Richardson with 4 each. And Diggs, Glover, leads with 6. So that's where we stand right now. Union with the edge as a team in kills, 23-19. And here comes Emily Grace back for another serve, up 7. She gets that power serve in there. Excellent, excellent. Going to the left hand, and it was a terrific one by Richardson. 13-7, and this is where this shorter team wants to start making a rally. And again, as their coach will tell them, you don't have to do it all in one service, but see if we can chop about 3 or 4 off of this. All right, Alyssa's going to have to get this one back quickly, and they get it over. Here's another power move. Alyssa saves it, goes into the stands. Can they get it over? Yes, they do. And terrific on the inside. And once again, that push that comes from Patrick up front. 13-8. You just got to love Catherine Patrick up front. And here you go. The downward flight, but nice dip to the knees to save it with Smith. The block. And trying to get it between the defenders, but it was saved in the backcourt. And terrific, terrific move on the part of Glover. 13-9. And this is Sema again to serve. Abigail Sema from Paducah, Kentucky. The lead has been cut to 4. It was 7. Tatch with the power move. And Union has it. 14-9, so Union stops that rally that was 3 in a row. And back to serve. It's going to be Greta Blakemore. And you got to feel good when you're playing serve and you have got in the backcourt Alyssa Tatch back there to help you out. That one went almost to the ceiling. Big power move, and that's not going to be saved. Alyssa went down deep, but it just went too far down, and so it's 14-10. Encouragement from Annie Smith. Sprosty is back in to serve. She went to Calvary Day School. I lived in Savannah in the 1980s. It's a beautiful, historic town. And the pound is there. No, they say it went back beyond the end line. So the lead has been cut to 3, and you can see the encouragement coming from Sema. Union won the first set, 30-28 in a thriller. Pound was there, and it goes off the ceiling. Let me tell you, I would not want to be within inches of Laura Rose Gray when she rears back and fires like that. So Union back to the 4-point advantage, and Ramsey back to serve. This young lady from Millington. And there's your set. Pound, and Union has it. It was beyond the end line, just too far right. So the Lady Bulldogs up 5 once again. Their biggest margin has been 7. Ramsey with that dribble before the serve, and she gets that one with a little bit of an arc to it. That's not going to be any way that you could possibly get Burrell over there to that one. This Shorter team is so resilient. I cannot begin to tell you, and they, even if they are down 5, 6, 7 points, they never believe they're out of it. And that is what makes them so entertaining to watch. Taryn is back to serve once again. Again, just stays so focused on the ball when she serves. Oh, no. Just too far wide left. Tell you, took that 2-step jump, and Laura Rose Gray thought she had it inbounds, but it was just an edge too far, and so it's back to a 3-point margin. Union came from 5 points down twice in the first set. Here's your set. Tatch dinks it over. And nice recovery by Veldis. She's had 11 touches in the game so far tonight, and that's 5 kills for her and 5 points. So it is now down to a 2-point margin. They're making the same kind of rally that Union did in the first set. Union with the save. Sample gets it back over. Here you go. The power move, and it's saved, but it goes back into the stands. That left-hand side of the Shorter blockers is making all the difference, and they've made the rally to close it to 16-15. And we're going to go down and look again at what some of the totals are for the teams right now. Shorter has now taken the lead in kills, 25-24. Now, in service aces, Union still has the advantage, 6-2, but now Shorter has the edge in assists, 23-18. They're very, very calm on the court in setting up for each other. Looking at digs, Union with the edge, 28-26. But Union with the edge in points, 46-42. But what is so important right now, Union winning the first set, 30-28. But what is so critical right now is what was at one point a 7-point lead in this set has been frittered down to 1. So Darren McClune wants to settle each of his players down. Here's some things that is a little bit tough to swallow a bit if you're a Union fan. Union women's volleyball has lost 4 straight senior night games, including a 2018 home loss to Shorter on senior night. The last time that they won one in the season finale was over West Georgia 5 years ago in 2016. That ought to be good news for the Shorter contingent tonight. Taryn with a serve. And the set. Tatch. It was blocked. Sample tried to dig down deep to recover it, and we are now tied at 16. They have come from 7 down to even it up. And you got to believe they've got the emotional lift on their side. Taryn with 10 assists in this game. And a nice save once again. Here you go. It goes high. Tatch again tries to get it between the defenders. Here's the power. You knew it was coming. Tatch. It goes back to the rear. And it goes between Ramsey and Sample. And how about this, folks? Shorter back to the lead, 17-16. That's why I say this team does not quit. They don't lose their focus when they get down 5, 6, and 7 points. Here you go. A little dink. They do save it. They've got an answer for everything Union is doing right now. And once again, too much for the front line to handle. It goes out of bounds, and this is huge. This is 8 consecutive points for Shorter. And you got to wonder, how long can this string continue? They have to go deep to save that one. Tatch had it blocked, but not forward. And so Union finally stopping the 8-0 run to close it back to within 1, and Sample's going to serve. And this is where they hope the front line for Union can become huge here with Emily Grace, Laura Rose, as well as Tatch. And it goes down between their own defenders, so it's 18 all. Sample again trying to give Union the lead. We've been at it more than an hour now. And they'll get it back over. Big power move saved by Sample. And is it in? Yes. They have got this place alive once again. Union back to the lead at 19-18. These fans are having a blast tonight on this Friday evening in Jackson, Tennessee. And it goes up low. And the dink. And they probably should have let that one go. The block. Tatch with the block, and it goes between the box. 20-18. Now Union is on a 3-point run. Union, the first one in the red zone once again. 5 away from victory in the second set. And the momentum has shifted again to the Lady Bulldogs. A 4-point run, and Sample, I don't think she was expecting that one not to be returned. 21-18. They go deep for it. Here goes your set. And pounding it home, yes! Emily Grace Calhoun makes it 22-18. It is a 5-point run for the Lady Bulldogs. We're going to keep it right here one more time. When we get after this set, we're going to visit with Jordan Vick. But to show you the difference that we've had here now, Union has gone back into the edge when it comes to looking at the overall totals right here in digs, 31-30. And then, while Union has fallen behind in kills, 26-28, this has been, again, they have the lead again in hitting percentage, 224-190. And it is Emily Grace Calhoun with 12.5 points to lead the Lady Bulldogs. Alyssa Tatch with 7.5. Laura Rose Gray with 9. And Tatch is the leader in digs with 11. And she has also picked up 6 kills. Emily Grace with 10 kills and 7 for Laura Rose Gray. And on the other side, Glover with 6 kills and 6 kills for Richardson. 7 for Valdez. So Union 3 points from a second straight set. And here's the set. And pounding. Sample with a great save. And give it to Union. They say it was in the net. Union 2 away from the second straight set, and this has been a huge run after they fell behind 18-17. 6 in a row. Once again, the set. The pound, and it is Union. It goes wide. Terrell tried to save it, and she went wide. It is set point. 24-18. Sydney Sample trying to close it out. Goes deep. Union with a save. Tatch with the dink. Union has won it. Second straight set. The Lady Bulldogs were up 7. They gave up 8 consecutive points to fall behind 18-17 and then went on an 8-point run led by Sydney Sample serving And Calhoun with the 11 kills now in the contest, and Union wins the second set in a row. Well, we told you we were going to visit with Jordan Vick. She is a delightful young lady, and we had a chance to sit and talk to her about her volleyball career at Union. Let's see what she had to say to us.
I came to a volleyball camp, and it was actually an elite camp for high schoolers. And so I was so nervous, and I was the youngest one there by probably like a year and a half. And just the college girls that were there, they were so welcoming, and they were just so friendly. Like, I can remember Abby Rand, who actually graduated 2 years ago, and Kristen Goggin, who did as well. They were both seniors in high school at that camp, already being recruited by him. And we met, and they talked to me like, oh my gosh, like, we love you and stuff. And so just like the homey aspect and how nice everyone was really is what drew me in, because I went to other camps at other places, and they just don't act like that. Like,
that's what she had to say about coming to Union, but let's also talk to her about her goals for the future. And she is a fifth-year senior, but there's a possibility because of the way things have developed with eligibility, she could come back again. Let's see what she had to say about that.
Right now, I'm majoring in elementary education, and as of right now, I'd love to take my fifth year, hopefully, if Coach still wants me around. And so I'd like to start my master's during that fifth year, and then after I'm finished with my master's, I'd like to go back home and become a teacher and then coach volleyball with my dad. I've talked him into keeping the volleyball program until I get back, and then I told him I would kick him to assistant coach.
You've already got this all planned out, Joe.
Yeah, hopefully it goes like that.
Well, one of the other things that we spoke to Jordan about was about her dream to be a coach. And that's one of the things that she is hoping maybe that an extra year here at Union may help her out. So let's talk to her about how coaching may be in her future.
I just think it would be such an amazing thing. Like, volleyball is something like I don't know if I'll ever be able to let go, because again, I do want to coach volleyball. And so just like knowing that I do have an extra year with these girls is just something that's really special. And like, I cannot imagine it any other way. Like, yes, COVID was not what anyone wanted it to be, but I am super thankful that it does give me another year of eligibility and another year to further my education too.
And as we've heard from so many of these Lady Bulldogs, their parents have had a tremendous influence on their lives and their careers, and you would expect nothing less. And when you see that smile on Jordan's face every time her parents are brought up, you can tell that there is a huge bond there. Let's see what her parents absolutely mean to her.
My dad, obviously, like I just said, he's been my volleyball coach my whole life, and then so has my mom. But outside of that, like, they have just really like helped me learn to love hard work and to work for things that I want in the future. And they've just also been my number one supporters through everything. And then also I have an older brother, Hunter, who you just mentioned, who's only 2 years older than me, and a younger brother, Garrett, who is 2 years younger than me. And luckily, like, they both go here and they both play basketball. So that's awesome. And then also just with them, we've all three been so competitive. And so growing up, like, they have just given me the heart to like work hard and be competitive and be that driven person on the volleyball court. And so really our family is just super close. As you can tell, we all three go to the same school. And so it's just been a great experience to have all of them here.
Jordan has one of the most pleasant smiles that you will ever see, and I had a blast talking to her. We have a little bit longer interview that we'll play for you after tonight's game, because I think you're going to really enjoy what she had to say about some other aspects of her volleyball career here. So stay tuned for that at the end of tonight's game. And so, Lady Bulldogs falling behind in both of the first two sets, and then coming from behind. They were down 5 twice in the first set, rallied to win. And it was a huge one in overtime, 30-28. And you see Sample making the rounds of everybody, try to get them fired up once again. And then after getting up by 7, they fell down 18-17 and then rolled through the final 8 points of the second set. So this is huge now, but you cannot turn your back on this Shorter team, because this is a team that is just as likely to snatch it away from you, because the way they play their game, it's as if it's a brand new ball game. There's only one set to worry about, and that is this one right here. They will have service to open up this third set. And once again, Lacey Glover to serve. She's had 25 touches in this game tonight, 6 points, 6 digs, and 6 kills. Here's your set. Tatch. And that one's going to go to the ceiling. And it goes off of the hands of Jordan Vick. So it is a 1-0 lead. Shorter getting the opening point again. Glover, very calm through all of it. And here's your set again. Right there between. There was no way. That was a tremendous effort by Glover to dig deep, but they could not catch up with that one. So we're tied at 1, and it is Jordan Vick, who you just heard from. That delightful personality, and here she is to serve. Our featured player of the game. And right in between the box of defenders. So Union continuing the emotional momentum, up 2-1. This is the third and deciding set if Union wins it. Going to the left hand again. Here's your set. Sample digging deep. Tatch. Here's your set. This is going to be a power. Blocked, but it goes out of bounds, and it goes to Shorter, so we're tied at 2. That was a nice block, but the angle of it was carrying it beyond the end line, and so here's Terrell to serve. And in between those defenders. That's a patented move up front, just as they're expecting perhaps a power return, and Tatch back to serve. 3-2. Out of bounds. Yep, Alyssa had that one spin off of her hand just a little bit too far right, and nobody feels worse about it than she does. So a service error makes it a 3-3 game. Back to serve Annie Smith, who always has that pleasant expression on her face. Pounding it home. All right, this one's got to go right now, and it does. Kicking it over right between the defenders. I got to tell you, it is hard for me to believe how Sydney Sample, and she has been injured at one point during the season. She was injured in the first meeting between these two. I don't know how she doesn't go back to the locker room with bumps and bruises all over her. Probably takes a couple of ibuprofen after every game from all of the spills she takes. A 4-3 Shorter lead. Pounding it down. They've got to get a chance to get it back, and they do. And that one went right into the hands of Jordan Vick. So a rally here for Shorter. As I mentioned, this team, it's as if, okay, the first 2 sets are gone. Let's just focus on taking it one at a time. We're still in this. Here's your set. One shot over. Yep. Right up front. Emily Grace just whams it home, and she's going back to serve. Emily Grace, 6'1", from Jonesboro, Arkansas. She went to Valley View High School. Into the net. Union evens it up at 5. Emily Grace would like to nothing better than to rip off about 3 or 4 more in a row here. Here's your set. Got the dink, and it was perfect. There was an opening. It's almost like a shift in baseball, and there was an opening like sometimes you have between the shortstop and third base, and that's exactly where they planted that one. 6-5, Shorter lead. But Shorter is on the ropes. They got to win all 3 remaining sets. Emily Grace saved it, but out of bounds. Give it to Union. Now here's Greta Blakemore. Greta is 5'10". Union has a lot of height on this team. Laura Rose Gray, the tallest, at 6'3". Actually, Adna Alahajic at 6'4", but she's not in there at this point. Going left-handed again with a serve. Out of bounds. Give it to Union, and Union takes the lead 7-6. Union just grinds away against Shorter, and that's what they've done tonight. When they've gotten behind, they've refocused. Darren McClure called a crucial timeout in that first set that made a big difference. The pound is right there to make it 7-all. There was no way Alyssa Tatch was going to get to that one. That was going at about 62 miles an hour. And here goes Sprosty back in. This young lady with 9 digs and 5 assists tonight. And she's got 1 service ace. They go low, and it's going to go over. There's the dink. Nice save, but beyond the line, and it is Shorter's point. So it's an 8-7 lead. Sprosty with a pleasant expression on her face. Here's a high set. The block. In between the defenders. That was not supposed to happen, but Jordan Vick made it. Reese Owens with a big grin on her face with that. I don't think they were expecting that. We're tied at 8. Haley Ramsey back in to serve. She's got 4 aces in the contest tonight. Make it 5. That was a little bit of a miscommunication there for Shorter, and so Union back to the lead at 9-8. 5 aces for Haley Ramsey. And this has got to go, and it goes into the net. Union now with 3 in a row to make it a 10-8 lead. And this club definitely wants to end it with this third set. They don't want it to have a shift in momentum. Ramsey the serve. Left-hand pound, and it is out of bounds. Union 4 in a row now, 11-8. And we have timeout on the floor. So Union on top, 11-8. Let me run through some totals again because it's been important to keep you up to date. For the Lady Bulldogs in kills, Emily Grace Calhoun on top tonight with 13, 7 each for Alyssa Tatch and Laura Rose Gray. And when it comes to service aces, Ramsey has 5, Sample with 3. That's been big tonight at crucial situations. With digs, Tatch the leader with 12, 8 for Sample. In points, Emily Grace Calhoun, 15.5 points to be the game leader. 9 for Gray, 8.5 for Tatch. Let's look over at Shorter. In scoring, Glover with 9 is the leader. 8 for Richardson, 6 for Terrell, 7 for Veldes. And then in digs, Sprosty with 9. She's had an excellent serve as well, but 9 digs, 7 for Glover. Assists, Smith with 14 tonight, but Jordan Vick again is all over it with 23 assists to lead everybody in this game. In kills, Glover with 9 to lead Shorter, 8 for Richardson, 7 for Veldes. And here we go, up 11-8, and we'll see how crucial that timeout was for Coach Naomi Sullivan. Union lost all 3 sets when these two teams met in Rome, Georgia in late September. The pound, and it was in, just inside the line. 11-9. As I say, throw it away. If some team gets out to a 5, 6, 7 point margin, it means nothing because you've seen the rallies so far tonight. But on this senior night, these Lady Bulldogs want to make it happen. All right, here goes your set, and Tatch pounded it home. This has got to go. And it goes back to Shorter. So it's an 11-10 game. Since joining Division II in 2012, this is the 10th season that Union has been a Division II school. The Lady Bulldogs are 2-7 on senior night, and they want to do something about that record tonight. Tatch with the pound. Union takes it back for service, up 12-10. But as we knew coming in here tonight, as Sample is getting ready to serve, we knew coming here tonight that this one was going to be a dandy from the word go, and it has. Got a nice arc on that one. And they say Union was in the net, and the Lady Bulldogs don't like that call, and Darren McClure is appealing the call, and the Lady Bulldogs, you can see the expressions on their faces. They say we were not in the net, so we're going to have a discussion about this with the officials. And we'll see what they say in this case. It's not going to take 22 minutes like it did during the Shorter Lane basketball game this afternoon to sort out a very, very difficult situation. Give it to Union. Yeah, the floor official said they were not in the net, and so Union a 13-10 lead, and that's huge because it could have been a 1-point differential. And you got a little bit of a protest from Coach Sullivan over that, but Union on top by 3. Sample to serve. That one's too far. Lady Bulldogs very patient, not trying to go after that one. 14-10. Sample going after her 4th in a row. Got that nice downward flight to it. The block. But Shorter gets it back, 14-12. And here goes Glover. I have been so impressed with her service tonight. She's had 30 touches on the ball and 10 kills. Once again, tried to get it over between the defenders. And that one was too low for Ramsey to dig out. And so we're back to a 14-12 game. Shorter trying to be very, very patient, even though they're down 2 sets and 2 points. And the dink goes back under, and Union basically outsmarted itself. Just a little bit too much on juggling the returns, and so it's a 14-13 game. Trying to get it to a tie is Glover. She has 10 points to lead Shorter scorers. Here's your set. It's in. Union back to the 2-point margin. They did not surrender the lead, even though giving up 3 in a row in service. And here's Jordan Vick, young lady who says she wants to coach volleyball when she ends her career, as well as to be a teacher. Here's your set. And the pound. This one has to go now. Good volley, but it was not far enough. That needed to be higher for the up front players for Charter. So Union a 16-13 lead. Just over the net. And that one was perfect geometry in which she just used the net to her advantage. And just impossible for the Lady Bulldogs to be able to retaliate from. 16-14, and Terrell back to serve. Here's your recovery. And pounding it, but nice retrieval. Union saves it. Sample trying to get it between the box. That one is going to be there. Out of bounds. And you could see the frustration on the part because she did everything she was supposed to do. Namely, Emily Crocker. She did everything she was supposed to do, but it just simply spun out of bounds. And so Union with a 3-point lead and Tatch to serve. Flat-footed serve. There's Sample with the set. That goes way high, and they could not recover from it after it hit the ceiling. Union by 4 at 18-14. Up 2 sets already. Lady Bulldogs wanting to get that revenge off of losing 3 straight sets at Shorter in this season finale. Union with a recovery. Tatch. Nice save. Alyssa's all over that backcourt. Yes! Emily Grace Calhoun. We talked to her last night about geometry when it comes to that, and she says, it's really more of a part of it than you think because you're trying to measure the angles whenever you return a volley. That was excellent. And you can see the fist pump up front by these Shorter players. They do not want to be denied, even though they're down 19-15. And back to serve, Annie Smith. I tell you, you have to be happy every time you see Annie because she's obviously going to have a pleasant expression on her face. Here's your set. And the pound goes down beneath Richardson. Union in the red zone, 5 away from winning it all, 20-15, and it's Emily Grace Calhoun to serve. Here's the set. And tried to recover it. Nice chase down. The block. And Union has it. 6-point lead. 4 away from victory. We have been at it for about 92 minutes. And even though Union has won both of the first 2 sets, each one of them have been outstanding to watch. Emily Grace goes into the net with it. It's a 21-16 game. But I can tell you the way they are coached, this Shorter team believes they could easily get on a 9-point roll and completely turn this around. Here's Seema with the serve. And it's in. Laura Rose Gray. How do you do? Her 16th kill of the night, 22-16. Now you got Lauren Burrell back to serve. She gets the high jump on her serve. Big pound. Save, but it goes up into the bleachers. Still a 5-point Union lead. And Sprosty, who's been outstanding in service tonight, is back once again for the Hawks. Nice downward flight, and frankly, Sample was fooled on that one. 4-point lead, 22-18. Sprosty got a lot of spin on that serve. All right, here's Madison. Here's your set. That two-step jump and the high leap for Laura Rose Gray, and she just has it written all over her. We're not leaving here without a victory. 23-18, and here comes Ramsey in for what she hopes will be the two final serves of this match. It goes deep. They have to save it. They're going to set her up again. It's blocked. Tatch. Here goes your set again. Good power move. Amazing save. Just between the box. But they did save it. Gray has it blocked, and she gets it back again. Sample with a set. And Tatch gets it right to left. It is match point, 24-18, and they are going nuts at the Fred. Ramsey to serve it. And that's it. What a serve and what an end to it. And the Lady Bulldogs sweep the weekend set and win 25-18, 3 straight sets. And you got to know, they had to come from 7 down in the first set to be able to do it. 25-18 in the final set, 3 in a row, and that is their 20th victory of the season in their regular season finale. And I think a huge point was a timeout that Darren McClure called when this team was down by 6 in the first set, and suddenly they settled down, went on a roll. It went to 30-28, and what a huge finish it was, and that was a huge uplift for this team. And it was just tremendous to watch them as they were determined not to have the jinx of senior night, as has happened so often here at Union University. Well, before we leave you tonight, we want to show you the rest of Jordan Vick's interview that I had with her earlier. And she had such a wonderful game tonight. Jordan with 4 kills, 29 assists to dominate that category tonight. Let's go back and take a look at what we had from Jordan tonight as she talked about her career here at Union.
Actually, about, 21 years ago this year, my dad started coaching volleyball, and he just grew to love it, and him and my mom kind of did it together, and he knew nothing about it when he started. And then I guess he always tells the story about how when I was born, he would take me to practices, and he would put a volleyball in my bassinet, and I would just hold it. And so he likes to use that story as how that molded me into the player I am today. But he really is the reason. Him and my mom are the reason why I fell in love with volleyball. And then I actually met Coach McClure, I guess when I was in 8th grade. And ever since then, I was like, I want to go to Union. I visited, I went to camps, and it just really felt like home. And so I just knew that I wanted to do it at this level.
Well, since you brought up about your parents, because I'm sure this is a story not a lot of people know about, since you brought up about your parents and your dad, that's a terrific story about that you just had to hold it when you were in the crib. But tell us about your family, and also, and in fact, you have a rather notable brother who nailed down 17 points in the first half of the Bulldogs last weekend. But tell us about your family, and also what else your parents have meant to you as far as growing up, and especially in your athletic career.
Mm-hmm. Well, so my dad, obviously, like I just said, he's been my volleyball coach my whole life, and then so has my mom. But outside of that, they have just really helped me learn to love hard work and to work for things that I want in the future. And they've just also been my number one supporters through everything. And then also I have an older brother, Hunter, who you just mentioned, who's only 2 years older than me, and a younger brother, Garrett, who is 2 years younger than me. And luckily, like, they both go here and they both play basketball. So that's awesome. And then also just with them, we've all three been so competitive. And so growing up, like, they have just given me the heart to like work hard and be competitive and be that driven person on the volleyball court. And so really our family is just super close. As you can tell, we all three go to the same school. And so it's just been a great experience to have all of them here.
Now, Jordan, I have to ask this because I asked Emily Grace Calhoun. She's a middle child too. So I've got to ask you this. Who got picked on the most when you were growing up?
Well, I am the middle child, but I am the only girl. So that kind of evened it out for me because I'm definitely a daddy's girl. And so probably my older brother, because me and my younger brother always used to pick on him because he was older and always good at everything.
Maybe during basketball season, I'll have to get Hunter's side of the story.
Yeah, probably.
We'll see how that worked out. I got to tell you, the last Saturday when he was nailing all those shots in the first half, I thought, my goodness, he's out to break the record.
I know.
Well, this is concerned. Tell me a little bit about when you're on the court. What's your favorite part of the game? Because you've got a terrific serve, and we've mentioned that to a lot of viewers about you've got a power serve that's terrific. But what's your favorite part of the game in volleyball?
Well, first off, thank you about saying that about my serve. Well, I guess my favorite part is honestly just like how fun it is to be doing it with your best friends. Like, I'm out there and just like celebrating each other when somebody does something good. It's just so rewarding. Like when you see your teammates doing well and then when they like reward you too. And so that's honestly probably my favorite feeling about volleyball.
Well, I've had over the years of being union broadcaster in basketball, and I have had this habit of giving a nickname to certain people. And because she was my student, I have started calling Alyssa Tatch the Cannon because of those huge kills that she had that seemingly are going about 60 miles an hour, and they're going at about a 45-degree angle down. She's something else with that. When it comes to actually when you're there on the court, and staying mentally focused. We've had a couple of games this season where in, say, the second set or maybe the third set, and you were down by a couple of points and you were having to really run the table to be able to capture that set. How do you keep from, I don't want to use the word panic, but how do you keep from making it something where it's so nerve-wracking as opposed to staying focused? Okay, we're down by 2. Let's just do what it takes to get these final 3-4 points.
Mm-hmm. Well, something that I personally love is I love like focusing on other girls. And if I can like show confidence through myself and show them that like I believe in them, like I've just like, that's something that I've always loved to do. And so I like to be that person that people look at. And so I guess it's just more so like, yeah, I do it for myself, but I also do it for my teammates to have confidence in themselves. And then also like sometimes I tell our team in these situations, I'm just like, look, we've been playing volleyball for 12 plus years. Some of us, like, let your body do the work. It knows exactly what to do. So just go out there and have fun, and you're not going to make a mistake if you're confident.
Well, what a young lady she is, and she had a fabulous night tonight with 29 assists for the Lady Bulldogs. Also had 4 kills and 5 digs. She was just all over the place. 5 points tonight, Jordan Vick. But I hope you enjoyed our visits that we've had the last 2 weeks with some of these young ladies because they are so enthusiastic. They are good friends off the court. And I think it really shows in how they communicate with each other on the court. There's not a hint of jealousy among them. Same thing I would say also about the shorter team because they came in here and certainly just by a switch of maybe one call or maybe a serve that went in a different direction, that first set could have gone either way, and Union just happened to be on top 30-28, and that led to really the momentum that carried them through a straight set sweep over the Shorter Hawks tonight. Let me give you a quick rundown on the totals, and then we'll wrap it up and get out of here because we got some basketball tomorrow to do. For Shorter, The leader in kills was Glover, and she was terrific tonight. Mark my word, and that young lady was an excellent server. Lacey Glover with 11 kills, 9 for Emma Richardson, and 8 for Annie Veldhuis. And then looking at assists, their leader was Annie Smith with 16, and she was a great server tonight, too. 15 assists for Cycle in the game tonight. She had a terrific game, Cycle. And then when it comes to digs, 11 for Glover and 10 for Madison Sprosty, who also, she was terrific in one of that big rally that they had in the second set to take the lead 19-18 before Union rattled it home behind a lot of the terrific service that they had in that final run. And 11 points, Glover was the leader for Shorter. For Union, as we mentioned, in assist, it was 29 for Jordan Vick, who just dominated the evening. In kills, 15 for Emily Grace Calhoun. She was fantastic tonight. Alyssa Tatch and Laura Rose Gray with 9 each. I'm telling you, when Laura Rose got that two-step and then high leap like she does and would just come down with a kill, it was something else to watch tonight. Big factor tonight, Union had 12 service aces, 6 of them by Haley Ramsey and 4 by Sydney Sample. And that is one of those things that may go by the boards with some people, but getting those service aces where you don't have to get into a long volley, that was huge tonight to get 12 of those things. And there were only 3 aces from Shorter. And in digs, 12 for Alyssa Tatch. She led the category, and 9 for Sydney Sample. And they were your leaders. In scoring, though, Emily Grace Calhoun, 17.5 points. Alyssa Tatch with 10.5. Laura Rose Gray with 11. 6 for Ramsey, 5 for Jordan Vick, and 4 for Sample. And what a way for the Lady Bulldogs to finish this regular season. And this crowd was so full of energy tonight. It was just outstanding. And it was like you were in a championship game. And so the folks stayed around after the basketball today, and it was a tremendous surge that we felt during the course of the 90 minutes that this game took to play. And I'm glad that you were here to join us. I'm glad that you've been with us all season long. This has been my first opportunity to call volleyball for an entire season, in the Lady Bulldogs 9-0 on our digital network this year. And that has been, it's just been great fun to watch them, to get to know them, and I hope it's been the same for you. Now, tomorrow, we are back at 3:45, the Union and Lane College. It's an intercity matchup. Union and Lane College crossover classic game that will be, our tip-off will be at 4 o'clock, but our airtime is at 3:45. We are simulcast both on the Union Digital Network as well as E+ TV 6 in Jackson, Tennessee. So those of you who have Jackson Energy Authority cable, turn to Channel 6 or Channel 206 for high definition, and you can watch us with that game. It's really going to be, I think, an interesting one between Union and Lane today. The Bulldogs got a victory in their matchup, the easy victory over Tuskegee today, and the Lady Bulldogs down in Florida in their opening for real basketball game of the season just dominated Florida Tech 84-48. What a night they had. And so it was a great day for Union sports all the way around. So let's all have a good night's sleep. We'll come back here tomorrow and enjoy it once again with Union against Lane in basketball. So for all of our great crew here tonight, and our director is Summer Sturgis, our camera operators, Blake Biggs and Caleb Kendrick, and our executive producer of Worthy Road Studios Sports, Paul Schultze. This is Steve Beverly saying so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.